Hello again. My name is Christopher Cole, and because I'm recording this in August of 2016, I am the first vice chair of the Pima County Libertarian Party. Today I'd like to talk to you about boards, commissions, licenses, and how all of those things hurt you. Think about it. Who sits on these boards and commissions that determine what companies or people get the licenses? It's the established companies. If it's bureaucrats, and a lot of times it is, who do they consult with to get the specifications that they use to draft their regulations? It's the established companies. To use an example here in Tucson, because the Tucson International Airport is the most popular destination or origin point for taxi cabs here in Tucson, Pima County, TIA sets the taxi cab rates for the entire county. They do this by saying, if you don't charge this much, we're not going to allow you onto our property. Uber and other such are just barely breaking through that wall. But who did TIA consult with to determine what rates that taxi cabs can charge? The big established taxi cab companies. Now suppose I can start up a taxi cab company and charge half of what the big companies charge and still make a profit. In fact, probably even make a profit greater than what the big taxi cabs companies make. Do you think TIA is going to applaud that I am helping the consumers of Pima County get better value for their money? Of course not. The big taxi cab companies will try everything they can to shut me down and use government authority to do so. Well, that happens every time the government sets up a board or commission to regulate or license any business, any industry. The big established companies, because they are big, they are established, they get to set the rules. They get to make sure that competitors cannot compete. That's why big companies like affirmative action. It doesn't cost them as much relative to the amount of business they do as it does small businesses. So a small business trying to innovate, trying to compete and make things better, has a disproportionate regulatory disadvantage. And big companies like that because they can make all sorts of profits, and the amount of innovation, the amount of betterment in their products and services, negligible. The driving force behind innovation is unregulated industries. Look at computers. Computers and computer software just grew exponentially. It was a byword that the computing power would double every couple of years or so. But computers were unregulated. Computer software, unregulated. The government wants to regulate software, wants to control Microsoft because it's too big. And yet, go to a software store, look at the Microsoft products, and look at all the competing products. The government is trying to pick and choose who wins, and the government has a lousy track record of that. A very lousy track record of that. And this is an established part of why the government wants to have licenses for every sort of industry that it can possibly do, including hair braiding, because it wants to control. It wants to take power from you. As always, remember, unless you honestly look at both sides of an issue, you don't have an opinion, you're a parrot. And I thank you.